Then, blunder number 11, like this is really important, and based on my personal experience, it costed me a lot. So, like, good evening, everyone. My name is Shubham Nagargoje. I am IPS 2021 batch ka officer, and I cleared UPSC in my third attempt, and I couldn't clear prelims in my initial two attempts. So that's why we are here. Ke prelims is now just 4 months away, and you need to have right guidance. You need to have your own strategy. How you are supposed to go with the 4 months which are there. And once you have that, then definitely, 4 months is the ideal time as per me. 4 months is not even too much and not even too less. तो 4 months में you can definitely clear prelims. तो अगर किसी ने पहले चालू नहीं किया है यार, और if they are thinking के is it too late or what, तो ऐसा भी नहीं है. Right now is the perfect time to start. You can switch from your mains का preparation to prelims का preparation, and make sure कि you are writing mains this time, because writing mains is a very wonderful opportunity, and ultimately everything depends on your mains only. Everything from your rank to your service allocation, everything depends on mains. So first hurdle is your prelims, and I hope this session will be helpful for you to clear your prelims and to guide you for how to go with it. So what we have thought is, okay, we'll take some 20 pointers, okay, how people are committing mistakes. So 20 mistakes which people are making in CSAT, with in prelims in general, which even I did, and I have learned from those mistakes, and I would like to share that with you so that you don't commit the same mistakes again. So here we go with that. Yeah. Okay. So first blunder is no target driven time preparation. So right now you are having 4 months, but if you do not keep your targets, okay, what are you supposed to cover in these 15 days, in a month, in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? जैसे कि last month you keep for revision, and also you have to make a strategy कि how many tests you are giving. तो ये revision के लिए कितना time रखना है. तो these are the things which you have to strategize. अगर टाइम टेबल नहीं बनाओगे तो फिर इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. तो कैसा होता है ना, इफ यू डोंट हैव टारगेट्स देन योर प्रिपरेशन गोज लाइक हे वायर. तो जैसे आज पॉलिटी पढ़ लिया, फिर मन नहीं कर रहा है, कल इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ लिया. तो ऐसे नहीं होता. वंस यू प्रिपेयर गुड टाइम टेबल, गुड टारगेट ओरिएंटेड टाइम टेबल, तो यू कैन लाइक कंप्लीट वन सिलेबस. पॉलिटी खत्म कर लिया, लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ ली, देन यू कैन गो थ्रू PYQs ऑफ यूपीएससी रिगार्डिंग पॉलिटी, पॉलिटी. एंड फिर उसके बाद एक बार रिवीजन के लिए कुछ शॉर्ट नोट बना के रख दिए, एंड कुछ सेक्शनल टेस्ट दे दिया पॉलिटी का. तो दिस इज लाइक, ये तीन चार चीज एक बार पॉलिटी कर ली तो फिर यू विल बी रेडी विद द पॉलिटी वाला एस्पेक्ट. तो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू प्रोसीड विद ऑल द क्वेश्चन, ऑल द सब्जेक्ट्स व्हिच आर देयर. If you don't do it very much target oriented, then it is very difficult to analyze how much you have progressed, and also and it's very difficult to see how much you have proceeded with the prelims ka preparation. And then ultimately you will suffer in the last month, wherein you will have a lot of things to do. कि टेस्ट भी लिखना है, रिवीजन भी बाकी है, and you are not having, you are not understanding कि how you should go further with. तो उससे बेटर है कि right now make a timetable, 4 महीने का proper timetable, wherein you can divide into sections कि अभी subject wise कैसे जाना है, तो करंट अफेयर्स के लिए कितना टाइम देना है, उसका अप्रोच कैसे रखना है. तो एक टाइम टेबल रहेगा, फिर टेस्ट कितने लगाने हैं, ये एक टाइम टेबल बना लो अच्छे से, so that you don't suffer later. With just correction, with regards to doubts which you are having, I would like you to just post them in the comment section, and the queries will be resolved later. You have to fill one form also, which will be given in the description. Fill that form, and then ultimately mentors will be there for you to clear your doubts and all. I am right now here, so this is just a strategy video, so that how based on my experiences I can tell you okay, how you can go further with prelims ka preparation. With regarding to your doubts, just post them in the description, and also fill the form which is in the description. Okay, so first blunder was कि target oriented preparation नहीं रहता है. तो second blunder is not aware of UPSC का recent trends. तो यूपीएससी में वी जनरली से यूपीएससी इज वेरी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल, बट एक ब्रॉड ट्रेंड्स यू कैन ड्रॉ अप. जैसे कि अराउंड 40-45 क्वेश्चन स्टैटिक के आते ही है, देन अराउंड 50 क्वेश्चन तुम्हारा इसका आएगा ही, करंट अफेयर्स का आएगा. Then when you consider current affairs, so economy and science and tech are few things wherein current से ज़्यादा questions आते हैं. So if you like keep on doing the static portion of environment and science and tech, तो वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा उसका static का मतलब क्या बोलते हैं उसको अपन, return on investment कम है. तो that's why you should focus more on current affairs. तो ये एक जनरल ट्रेंड बनता है. तो इट्स नॉट लाइक ए वेरी मतलब इट इज टोटली अनप्रेडिक्टेबल, ऑल्दो सम क्वेश्चंस आर देयर. जैसे लास्ट टाइम स्पोर्ट्स के क्वेश्चन पूछ लिए थे 3, तो वो कोई नहीं बोल सकता है मतलब कितना आएंगे कितना नहीं आएंगे. बट एक ब्रॉड ब्रॉड ट्रेंड तो ऐसा ही है कि स्टैटिक का एक डिफाइंड सिलेबस है जो 40-50% आपका सिलेबस कवर कर लेगा. बाकी करंट अफेयर्स है. तो थोड़ा बैलेंस करो, थोड़ा समझो कि हर सब्जेक्ट में कैसे ट्रेंड्स है. जैसे पॉलिटी में बहुत रैंडम क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछता है, मतलब कुछ स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक से जहाँ से बहुत बार क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. जैसे पार्लियामेंट हो गया, इलेक्शन प्रोसीजर हो गया, यहाँ से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. तो वैसे प्रीवियस ईयर का एनालिसिस करके यू कैन गो थ्रू. Now, third thing is unbalanced preparation, which is मतलब with a skewed focus. तो मतलब third blunder is this. तो what happens is when you start preparing, तो हाँ, तो when you are preparing, तो आपको समझता नहीं है कि current affairs ज़्यादा करना है या static ज़्यादा करना है. And you मतलब tend to what happens is you will do current affairs only, मतलब you'll get stick to current affairs and you won't focus on static, and it can happen vice versa also. But both the things are not good. मतलब you have to मतलब balance the preparation. If you focus on only one aspect, then that is not a very right thing to do, because static का portion रहेगा, and if you do not attempt it very well, so current affairs is very random. तो मतलब but just based on current affairs you cannot clear prelims. It's very difficult मतलब I mean to say. So that's why static होता है कि we tend to focus on कुछ limited subjects only. We will focus on polity, we'll focus on economy, मतलब which we feel मतलब we like more. तो बट एट द सेम टाइम देन वी लीव सम टॉपिक, जैसे आर्ट एंड कल्चर छोड़ दिया या एंशिएंट मेडिवल छोड़ दिया. तो दिस कैन नॉट बी डन, बिकॉज यूपीएससी में ऐसा है कि यू कैन नॉट लीव सिलेबस. जहाँ पे सिलेबस दिया है वहाँ पे यू हैव टू कवर ऑल द थिंग्स इन द सिलेबस, एंड आफ्टर दैट पूरा सिलेबस करोगे तो यू विल आल्सो फील कॉन्फिडेंट. तो दैट्स व्हाई डू नॉट लीव द सिलेबस. हर चीज के लिए सोर्सेस आपको पता है, मतलब एंशिएंट कहाँ से पढ़ना है, मेडिवल कहाँ से पढ़ना है. अगर एंशिएंट मेडिवल से 6 क्वेश्चंस आ गए एंड इफ यू हैव लेफ्ट एंशिएंट मेडिवल, तो कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. मतलब इट विल बी वेरी हार्मफुल फॉर यू. तो इसलिए डो नॉट लीव एनी पोर्शन ऑफ द सिलेबस. सब कुछ अच्छे से कवर करो, है ना. बाकी फिर रिवीजन तो चलते रहता है. फिर एक है फोर्थ ब्लंडर इज नो सिलेक्ट. इसमें क्या होता है ना, वी टेंड टू मतलब यूपीएससी को जैसे बोलते हैं कि एवरीथिंग अंडर द सन इज आस्क्ड, लेकिन ऐसा भी नहीं. यूपीएससी ने सिलेबस दिया है, तो जहाँ पे स्टैटिक पोर्शन आपको पता रहता है कि क्या क्या पढ़ना चाहिए, एनसीईआरटी पढ़नी चाहिए, देन कहाँ से मतलब आर्ट एंड कल्चर करना है, जैसे फाइन आर्ट्स आर्ट एंड कल्चर हो जाता है एनसीईआरटी का. तो ऐसे सोर्सेस पता है. तो ऐसा नहीं कि रैंडमली यू प्रिपेयर एवरीथिंग अंडर द सन. करंट अफेयर्स के लिए कुछ सोर्सेस है, जैसे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ लिया, न्यूज़पेपर से कुछ निकाल लिया करंट अफेयर्स. तो ये एक डिफाइंड वे ऑफ अप्रोचिंग प्रीलिम्स इज देयर. तो यू कैन फोकस ऑन दैट. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि यू आर रीडिंग एवरीथिंग एंड एवरी रैंडम थिंग विच इज देयर. तो ठीक है. हाँ मतलब और एक चीज, मतलब एक सिंपल फंडा यूज टू यूज कि वट एवर यू आर रीडिंग, इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू गिव 3 revisions, then better you do not read it in the first place. Because what happens is if you read only once, then it's very difficult and मतलब थोड़ा impractical to say that you will recall in the exam. What happens is with only one reading it's very difficult to recall. तो आपके 2 रीडिंग चाहिए, 3 रीडिंग चाहिए. तो मतलब if you are not able to give 3 revisions, then do not start with that only. तो अगर ऐसे मान लो कि right now is February starting, but in March or in April में some document is released which you think you have to cover this particular document, and you feel कि यहाँ से questions आएंगे, तो pick such documents only if you are sure कि you will read it 3 times, and then only you can go for it. Otherwise what happens is till the last moment you will keep on collecting documents only, and various obviously market is there, market में बहुत सारा content है. तो you should know okay, where you should put the limit. So for that be मतलब थोड़ा सा aware. Do not like flow with the market and take every and buy every other thing in the market and then suffer later, because sources defined है and you should go with the standard sources. मतलब बहुत ऐसे randomly कुछ भी मत पढ़ो. Okay, fifth blunder is ignoring previous year questions. तो look मतलब इट्स वेरी सिंपल कि यूपीएससी का एक 2 ही चीजें यूपीएससी का अपने को पता है. एक है सिलेबस, सेकंड थिंग इज यूपीएससी का पीवाईक्यूज. तो बेस्ड ऑन पीवाईक्यूज यू कैन एनालाइज कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी इज आस्किंग. and how the trend is going. मतलब ऐसा रहता है कि mapping के questions, if you consider mapping के questions in geography, so there is a मतलब you can understand based on PYQs के what things so you are supposed to focus on while reading the news. जैसे अब इजिप्ट के मतलब हेड अपने 26 जन को आए थे रिसेंटली कल, तो व्हाट मतलब इसमें अगर यू इफ यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन पर्टिकुलर थिंग जैसे PYQs के बेसिस पे, तो व्हाट योर फोकस इज इजिप्ट का कैपिटल क्या है, फिर इजिप्ट के आसपास सनाई पेनिनसुला है, फिर वहाँ पे रेड सी है. तो इफ यू गो विद द ज्योग्राफिकल लोकेशन एंड इफ यू प्लॉट दीज थिंग्स ऑन एटलस, then it will help you later, and ऐसे you can streamline your preparation. So if you don't do PYQs only, then you will face this difficulty of मतलब to how to read and how to proceed with the content. It's very मतलब content, a lot of content is there in the market. You should also know okay which things are to be left out and with what approach you are supposed to read that content. तो इसलिए यूपीएससी का PYQs are very important, and sometimes even यूपीएससी का PYQs are getting repeated also. सेम क्वेश्चन आर्ट एंड कल्चर में पूछ लिया था या एंशिएंट में पूछ लिया था, सेम क्वेश्चन इज रिपीटेड एंड इट इज आस्क्ड अगेन. तो दीज थिंग्स हैपन. तो जैसे PYQ से यू विल गेट टू नो के बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म हो गया, दिस थिंग्स यू कैन नॉट लीव. इस पे काफी क्वेश्चंस आते रहते हैं, मतलब हर साल अल्टरनेट ईयर बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म पूछते हैं. तो ये ट्रेंड कहाँ से समझ रहा है आपको, ये ट्रेंड समझ रहा है बेस्ड ऑन PYQs. So PYQs are very important, and moreover PYQs are important so that you understand the psyche of UPSC. Okay, how UPSC ka people are making questions, because it's very difficult and it's very different from whatever we are having in the market or what even we think questions get free होते हैं. So if you go through PYQs, then definitely you'll have that approach and you'll understand that approach, how UPSC questions are being prepared, how the options are being prepared, and how you should think to get to the correct answer. So that's why UPSC PYQs are like, they are the must. So you should definitely do those. Again, your sixth blunder is current affairs only from monthly magazines. So this is like recent trend wherein a lot of institutes are releasing their current affairs. The monthlies are there, then PTs are there. Everybody knows that, and it is there. So, matlab, you can take it, you can use it. I'm not like totally against it. Use that, but at the same time, make your UPSC notes from newspaper also. Newspaper say you get to know some content, and matlab, if you have a particular thing in the news, then write it in your notes also. Okay, if you think it is important. And again, how will you understand if it is important or not? That only depends upon how you are analyzing the PYQs. If you analyze PYQs very well, and if you understand how questions are being asked from current affairs, then you will definitely read better things, and you will be able to take down content from the newspapers. So two things are there. मतलब, do not rely entirely on the current affairs magazine, and मतलब, back it up with your notes which you are making from the newspaper regularly. Coming to the seventh blunder is following multiple sources. तो देखो यार, मतलब ऐसा है कि एक स्टैंडर्ड सोर्स इज इनफ, एंड अलोंग विद दैट एनसीईआरटीज आर ऑलवेज देयर. तो लक्ष्मीकांत कर रहे हो पॉलिटी के लिए, तो लक्ष्मीकांत इज इनफ, एंड देन अगर पढ़ लिया एनसीईआरटी तो एनसीईआरटी इज इनफ. नाउ डोंट गो इनटू मोर रेफरेंस बुक्स कि और किसी नितिन सिंघानिया की कुछ और बुक है उस पर, या किसी और पब्लिकेशन की कुछ और बुक है, तो पॉलिटी के लिए 3-4 बुक्स पढ़ रहे हो. तो इससे क्या होगा ना, मतलब लक्ष्मीकांत इज सफिशिएंट. तो उससे if questions are even more tougher than that, then nobody will be, or very few people will be able to answer those. So it is anyway your performance is very relative. So standard sources करो, do not go into too many of sources. जैसे स्पेक्ट्रम के लिए भी रहता है, तो हिस्ट्री, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में स्पेक्ट्रम इज सफिशिएंट. स्पेक्ट्रम कर लो, एनसीईआरटी कर लो, फिर इसके बाद में फिर से मतलब आई पर्सनली डू नॉट सजेस्ट कि बिपिन चंद्रा भी पढ़ लो, बिकॉज स्पेक्ट्रम से थिंग्स आर गेटिंग कवर्ड. To understand these things, if you go for multiple sources, then that is a never-ending process. You'll take up every other book and read it for a particular subject without revising anything. So what main thing you have to focus is take a standard source, read it, make notes out of it, and revise those notes periodically, like again and again. If you give 3-4 revisions, which are very must. So 3-4 revisions are required for you to remember and recall things in UPSC. बिकॉज वहाँ का प्रेशर भी अलग होता है, वहाँ पे तुम्हारा थोड़ा स्ट्रेस्ड अप रहते हो, तो यू डोंट रिकॉल थिंग्स. बट इफ यू लाइक डू प्रॉपर रिविजन्स, देन डेफिनेटली यू कैन मतलब रिवाइज एंड यू कैन रिकॉल द फैक्ट्स इन द एग्जाम. So this is also very much important. Okay, do not follow multiple sources. जैसे current affairs के लिए भी, current affairs के लिए if you are preparing from newspaper, then that's the best thing. Otherwise, if you are preparing from any source like Samachar Manthan से कर लिया, then that is one source. Now, don't go for like 3-4 institutes का current affairs only, because then ultimately this we think we discussed above also. Okay, then what will happen is you will focus only on current affairs and you will leave the static portion. Whereas, but at the same time, static is very important because static is something which is having some surety. आपने इतने standard books पढ़ लिए तो some questions will be there which you will be able to answer. Current affairs का it's very difficult to tell कि where questions will be coming from. इसलिए current affairs के लिए भी थोड़ा sources restrict करो, and same goes with तुम्हारा static also. Static के लिए भी limited standard sources रहने चाहिए and multiple revisions is the key ultimately. Okay, then blunder rate is like no strategy. मतलब this happens with a lot of people कि strategy नहीं, अब से 4 महीने पे एग्जाम है but you don't have any strategy कि कितने टेस्ट सॉल्व करने हैं, and then how you are supposed to revise, how many number of revisions you are supposed to give, are you making notes or not, even you are not sure of that. So what happens is this is like a very mixed up preparation wherein you are doing things based upon कि ठीक है based upon your mood कि आज ये हो गया, मतलब आज पॉलिटी पढ़ने की इच्छा होगी तो पॉलिटी पढ़ लिया like this. But if you don't have a strategy, then it is very difficult to clear prelims. So that's why make a good strategy, like we discussed in the timetable wala section, which was the first blunder. We do not have a timetable of like entire 4 months. So make a proper timetable wherein you are writing a strategy how you are supposed to clear prelims. So which I'll be there for you, मतलब whenever you need. I'll be taking sessions also. तो उसमें भी strategy को समझते जाएगी. Even other toppers are there. With CD, they are also with other platforms, topics or strategies are there. So understand those strategies, what they are telling, and devise your own strategy. Then do not leave any part of the syllabus, like complete syllabus, and then give appropriate number of tests also. So this is like a broad strategy which you have to focus upon. You cannot clear without preparing any strategy. Then blunder number 9 is like not attempting mock tests. So this is like मतलब डायरेक्टली इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में ऐसे विराट कोहली डायरेक्टली उतरता नहीं है ना. दे डू नेट प्रैक्टिस, दे मतलब दे practice different kinds of shots and all everything. So these things are very important. So mock tests are like that practice nets for you. So wherein you'll have to write a proper test, sectional test ले लिया suppose. So you are giving the 100 questions का sectional test, then you are analyzing those tests. So without analysis of how you are performing, it's very difficult to improve. So that's why tests are very important, and you have to also segregate your tests. कि sectional test कितने दिन दे रहे हो, then when are you switching to full length test, because ultimately sectional test जैसे exam नहीं रहेगी, ultimately you'll have to go for full length test. So you have to give some a particular number of full length tests to get into that UPSC का mindset, and to get into UPSC का overall pattern of asking questions. So that is there. Okay, blunder 10 is like no post mock test analysis. So we feel very great कि ठीक है, we have written a test today, and we feel कि ठीक है आज Sunday था, एक test लिख लिया, and now we are done with the day. But it's not like that. मतलब if you just give a test and if you don't analyze it, then it doesn't make any sense. मतलब आपने 2 घंटे जो टेस्ट के थे वो भी waste कर दिए एक तरह से. So what you have to do is you have to take the synopsis, whichever what will be given, and then you have to analyze where you are going wrong and why you are going wrong. तो जैसे मतलब बहुत सिली मिस्टेक्स करते हैं कभी कभी अपन. तो जैसे मतलब बेस्ड ऑन माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस आई टेल यू यूपीएससी में बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन पे एक क्वेश्चन था. तो वेरन आई गॉट कंफ्यूज विद सुप्रीम कोर्ट. वहां पे दिया था कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज डिफाइंड बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन, एंड और कौन है, इट वाज गिवन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज डिफाइंड बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन, बट इट इज नॉट ट्रू. एंड आई गॉट कंफ्यूज कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने दिया है, मतलब आई अज्यूम्ड इट एज करेक्ट, बट इट इज नॉट डिफाइंड इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एंड इट वाज गिवन बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट. तो ऐसे सिली मिस्टेक्स हो जाते हैं, विकेट मतलब कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं अपन. तो जैसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट को इससे कंफ्यूज कर लिया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से. सेम गोज विद पार्लियामेंट एंड लोकसभा. तो ऐसी चीजें हैं जहाँ पे मतलब यू फील कंफ्यूजन एंड ऑल. तो दिस थिंग्स आर लाइक कंसिडर्ड अंडर सिली मिस्टेक्स एंड यू हैव टू अवॉइड इट, because if you do even 1 or 2 silly mistakes in the exam, then what happens is many people are there in the border margin. Suppose 95 का कट ऑफ है, वो 94 के आसपास अटके हैं वहां पे. तो if this is because 1 or 2 silly mistakes also cost. That's why your analysis of your test. So test के analysis पे you'll get to know कि what mistakes you are making, and you have to basically remove those mistakes from the preparation. So take a A4 sheet, write all the mistakes which you are making in the test. So I used to do that after every test. I used to write down my mistakes. Before going for the next test, I used to read those mistakes, and then ultimately I used to reduce those mistakes. And once you are very much or critical, now yeah, matlab, I'm not committing the same mistakes again and again and again and again, then you feel confident also. Okay, you'll clear prelims with good marks. So that's why analysis is very important. Also, analysis may see the matlab, how you are matlab, don't go only for the wrong question, go for the right questions also. Okay, जो questions आपके सही हुए हैं, so what matlab, how you thought in those particular questions so that you got to the right answer. So this thinking process part is very important. So you have to analyze this part, के matlab, how you are thinking and how you are getting to answer. Or at the same time, if you are getting to a wrong answer, then similarly why you are getting a wrong answer. Matlab, did you confuse between the terms, or you were not able to recall certain facts, or you are not remembering the concepts. तो ये जब समझता है आपको, then you can devise your own strategy to improve the performance. But if you don't analyze the matlab, question paper or the test, then it's very difficult to understand the mistakes which you are making. So analysis of the test is like really very important. And also, one more thing I would like to suggest is do not, analysis is not content building exercise. Whatever synopsis is there in the test, and then you are taking out content from it. So, because look, UPSC is thoda unpredictable and question what will be asked, मतलब ये किसी को पता नहीं है. So, do not go in analysis. I committed this mistake. Suppose 100 questions, 100 questions, मेरे 40 wrong है in case. तो 40 क्वेश्चंस का मैं सिनॉप्सिस में से आई यूज्ड टू राइट डाउन फ्यू पॉइंटर्स. तो ठीक है, उसमें क्या हुआ ना, अल्टीमेटली आई कलेक्टेड अ लॉट ऑफ मटेरियल, बट आई मिस्ड अपॉन दिस पार्ट व्हिच वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, के एनालाइजिंग माय थॉट प्रोसेस, कि हाउ एम आई अप्रोचिंग अ पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, एंड वेयर आई एम गोइंग रॉन्ग इन द मतलब वेयर आई एम गोइंग रॉन्ग इन द थिंकिंग पार्ट, कि मतलब हाउ आई एम थिंकिंग टू गेट टू अ पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन, व्हाई आई एम एलिमिनेटिंग अ पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन. तो ये सारी चीजें जब समझोगे, देन अल्टीमेटली यू विल do better in your mocks also. And also one thing is like mocks ka test, do not take it to the heart. Matlab mocks mein people, what happened with me is I used to score very less in the mock, but I scored really well in the prelims. So the attempt which I cleared UPSC 2020 ka CSE, I scored 125 in prelims. So that was like above, pretty much 20 marks above the cutoff. But in mocks I did not score above 110. तो मॉक्स के स्कोर पे डू नॉट गेट डिसहार्टेंड. कभी कभी रैंक कम भी आया, कभी ज्यादा भी आया, तो भी डू नॉट टेक सक्सेस ऑल्टो टू योर हेड, कि बहुत ही ज्यादा मतलब अच्छे से पढ़ाई हो गई है ना, पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, ऐसा भी नहीं है. तो आइदर वे, मतलब इफ यू आर स्कोरिंग लेस, इफ यू आर स्कोरिंग मोर, हैव दैट बैलेंस एटीट्यूड wherein you are continuously preparing and that consistency is not going anywhere. So that thing is also required. Then blunder number 11, like this is really important, and based on my personal experience, it costed me a lot. One video is also there on Civilsdaily, which I took earlier on CSAT. So ignoring CSAT is like the 11th number blunder. So what happened with me, I would like to tell that first. 2018 का attempt I gave, and 2018 के attempt में I could not clear prelims because 1 mark. So, but I cleared, and then afterwards, when 2019 ka prelims were there, I was overconfident. कि last time I was scoring around 120, so I don't have to go through CSAT ka paper. So I did not do anything for CSAT. मतलब ignored it completely to an extent that I did not solve a test also. And then ultimately what happened is 2019 के prelims में I could not clear because of CSAT, wherein मेरे marks UPSC का cut off GS के लिए 98 था, मेरे marks थे 105. But CSAT में I couldn't clear, so that attempt I wasted anyways. So this should not happen with you guys. So right now, so anyways, many people are already failing in CSAT. That's a common trend in like last 2-3 years. So focus on CSAT, मतलब very well. Like take it seriously as GS only, because जो कट ऑफ यूपीएससी का कम हो रहा है, that is because people who are scoring very good marks in GS are not able to qualify CSAT. तो ultimately जो जिनके मतलब थोड़े अब average marks है GS में, they are able to clear because कट ऑफ कम हो रहा है. तो that's why clearing CSAT is very important. Otherwise तुम GS में 150 भी लेके आओगे and CSAT ही नहीं clear हो रहा है, तो it doesn't make any sense. So CSAT is becoming a deciding factor to an extent. तो प्रिपेयर इट अलॉन्ग विद योर जीएस ओनली, के जैसे रोज के 2 घंटे निकालो सी सेट के लिए, एंड मेक अ स्ट्रेटेजी के हाउ यू आर गोइंग फॉरवर्ड विद द सी सेट के पीवाईक्यू और सब कुछ। तो रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस एंड मॉक्स से हो जाएगा, मतलब जैसे जीएस के लिए वी गो फॉर द मॉक्स, वैसे ही मॉक्स यू विल हैव टू गिव फॉर सी सेट आल्सो। Okay, so blunder number 12 within CSAT is like overemphasizing on maths in CSAT. So देखो CSAT में obviously you know there are many components के, ठीक है, maths and quant is one, logical reasoning is another, data interpretation is there, then obviously your comprehension is there. So there are many things. So do not like focus on a particular thing. And मतलब this happened with me. Not only maths, you can say कि do not focus on any particular thing. के LR पे बहुत ज़्यादा भी focus मत करो. Do not depend too much on comprehension also, because I depended too much on comprehension in my 2019 attempt where I failed in CSAT. So it's very difficult to solve those questions. Inference, corollary, these questions are easy. But assumption के questions में there is a lot of subjectivity and your answers might vary with the UPSC answers. So that's why I do not like totally depend on any particular subject. मतलब quant हो या reasoning हो या comprehension हो, like you have to maintain your balanced approach here also. So do quant also very well. Then comprehension के लिए कुछ strategy देख लो कि जैसे assumption में भी extreme statements mostly गलत होते हैं. तो these tricks you will have to find, and maybe based upon your mocks analysis or mocks solution, you will also understand these tricks. So that you can do. एंड एलआर का ऐसा है कि एलआर से फिलहाल क्वेश्चन उतने ज्यादा आ रहे नहीं है, तो इट्स नॉट लाइक यू कैन मतलब एलिमिनेट द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ लॉजिकल रीजनिंग। अगर आप ऐसे कर दोगे ना एलआर के क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी ने 30-40 कर दिया तो you'll get stuck and you'll be nowhere। तो ऐसे नहीं करना है, मतलब थोड़ा बैलेंस प्रिपरेशन रखो, एनालाइज सी सेट के पीवाईक्यूज आल्सो, एंड बेस्ड अपॉन दैट यू कैन डिवाइस अ गुड स्ट्रेटजी फॉर सी सेट। Okay, blunder number 13 is no strategy of your own to attempt UPSC का prelims paper. So this is like very important, because what happens is when you don't have a strategy के how you are going to proceed in those 2 hours, it is very difficult to मतलब attempt the questions and to be in the right mindset. Because 2 hours है, मतलब I'll tell my personal strategy first कि 2 घंटे रहते थे, then obviously first I used to solve the paper in 2 iterations. So first iteration में I used to do like 35-40 questions which I'm very sure of कि इसका accuracy like मतलब above 90% है. So those questions which are wrong, then put a dot wherein I know मतलब I think this can be answer. So ऐसे hard copy में जब आप test देते हो तो you have many options to go with. तो ऐसे करके and then afterwards when around 1 hour is gone with 35-40 questions, and then after that when another 1 hour I used to go for second iteration and I used to attempt remaining questions. तो पहले कुछ 35-40 questions होते थे and then again around 50 questions I used to do. तो ओवरऑल अटेम्प्ट मेरा रहा है 2-3 अटेम्प्ट में 85 to 95 के बीच में. So even if you don't have this thing in your mind के how many questions you are going to attempt, then also it is very difficult, because what happens is कि we do मतलब either way it is very unfair के if you are doing questions less than 70, then also it's very difficult to clear, because UPSC का questions are very मतलब the difficulty level is not that easy. तो वहाँ पे क्या होता है ना, तो accuracy is not that great. If your accuracy is great, then you can go with less number of questions. But if your accuracy is not that great, then definitely you'll have to attempt more questions. So 85 and 95 ka margin is very decent, wherein you have that scope of leaving some 5-6 questions which will be very difficult and which will be mostly factual होंगे, या जहाँ पे you don't have the content, you don't even know the terms. जैसे environment में कुछ questions आते हैं wherein we are not aware of the terms also. So ऐसे टाइम पे if you are not getting a idea and if you are not getting a particular logic to relate and to get to a right answer, then leave those questions, because what happens is those questions will backfire and ultimately you'll lose that negative marking by marks. So wild guesses, that's my personal opinion. The wild guesses, you should not go for it. Blind guesses say you'll definitely go with negative marking, and ultimately border पे रहोगे तो it will impact you a lot. मतलब if you don't clear prelims, so avoid wild guesses, and वो फिर वो like around 85 to 95 का margin if you keep if these many questions you are supposed to solve, then those are like decent. Also, one thing is that if you don't have a clear strategy about how you are going to approach, if you are starting from question number 1 and question number 1 say you are going to question number 100, then it can be a case that you're not comfortable with science and tech, and your particular set is starting with science and tech, and then you are under very much pressure to carry science and tech. I am not very comfortable with, and 20 questions are there from science and tech, only 1 to 20. Then you'll feel the paper is very tough, but paper was not very tough because polity, economy, history questions were very easy. So this should not happen with you. So इसलिए UPSC never it's not written nowhere कि you have to go from question 1 to question 100. So devise your own personal strategy. So I was very comfortable with polity. So what I used to do is whenever I open that question paper, I used to search polity का section. मतलब उसमें if you're 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute is also going. But if you open your section wherein you are comfortable with, so जैसे polity open कर लिया, तो polity के 17, 18 questions से सारे questions रहते हैं subject wise. So you'll be done with some 15, 16, 17 questions with good accuracy that will give you a kind of confidence also. So find your comfort spot, find your sweet spots wherein you are very much okay with wherein you are very pro with your understanding and all. So if you have that understanding and if you are aware of that, then definitely find that section first and start with that. It's not like you have to go from question one only always. Okay, blunder 14 is like committing silly mistakes in UPSC mocks and ultimately in UPSC prelims. So silly mistakes we have already talked about. Okay, you get confused between the अच्छा अच्छा questions I'll take later. मतलब questions के लिए एक अलग session रहेगा. तो you will just post your questions. I think I got disturbed because of that. ठीक है, it's alright. तो what happens is silly mistakes in UPSC को mocks and prelims. तो इसमें ऐसा है कि as I said earlier कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से कंफ्यूजन कर दिया एंड देन सिली मिस्टेक्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वेश्चन ठीक से पढ़ा ही नहीं कि they have asked what which are the incorrect statements and you assumed it to be correct, then you are searching for correct statement but that goes wrong. So these are like very small things which you'll have to focus on, and that's why you have to be very much self aware and we have to be patient in the exam also. मतलब stress should not build up a lot. एंड और ऐसा होता है कि मतलब नॉट रीडिंग ऑप्शंस करेक्टली, ऑप्शंस में कंफ्यूजन हो गया, WHO को WMO पढ़ लिया, वैसे फास्ट फास्ट जैसे होता है ना, जैसे पर्सनली आई यूज्ड टू डू सिली मिस्टेक्स इन क्वेश्चंस, आई एम वेरी मच कंफर्टेबल विद. वहाँ पे क्या होता है ना, वी आर ओवर एक्साइटेड. जैसे पॉलिटी का एकदम सिंपल क्वेश्चन आ गया फंडामेंटल राइट्स पे, तो वी आर वी टेंड टू गेट एक्साइटेड कि ठीक है दिस इज वेरी इजी, बट व्हाट हैपेंस इज अल्टीमेटली यू डू इट इन वेरी मच haste and you do not read the options properly, so you tend to commit silly mistakes. So silly mistakes के लिए I think personally मतलब ज़्यादा silly mistake तब होते हैं when you are very much you get a very easy question and you are very much comfortable in that particular section. तो वो भी avoid करो. मतलब you have to be very alert in the exam for entire 2 be alert. मतलब if you prepare like day and night for these 4 months, and if you are not very alert and if you are not very calm in those 2 hours, then this preparation goes in vain. So ultimately that is the D-Day and you have to perform on that D-Day. So D-Day के लिए do not do silly mistakes there. Okay, तो blunder 15 is not utilizing your intelligent elimination का जो techniques रहता है, जैसे intelligent guess के techniques है, कुछ है, so which you can use to eliminate certain options. So as I told you earlier, कि if you go through UPSC का PYQs, so once you go through PYQs, you'll understand कि there are certain things which UPSC जैसे general statements रहते हैं ना, UPSC में general statements are mostly right. And there are like exceptions wherein general statements are wrong, but facts के terms में वैसा नहीं है. Facts UPSC gets the fact wrong multiple times. मतलब बहुत बार facts गलत दिया रहता है. So this is like my general observation by going through PYQs. Not necessarily true all the ways, but that is just a way of approaching questions. So when you go through PYQs, then you'll understand these things. When you go through mocks, then mock solve करते time भी try to get into that मतलब intelligent guessing वाला thing. कि जो भी तिकड़म्स रहते हैं, कभी कभी जैसे यूपीएससी तो तिकड़म्स आजकल बर्स्ट कर दिया है, मतलब तिकड़म ज्यादा चल रहे भी नहीं है, बट लॉजिक एंड कॉमन सेंस नथिंग कैन बीट दैट. So if you have that common sense and if you go with a particular logic, तो वो डेवलप करना भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो जहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है तो वहाँ पे एलिमिनेट कैसे करना है ऑप्शंस को, इस पे मे बी आई टेक अनदर वीडियो के एलिमिनेशन टेक्निक्स क्या क्या रह सकते हैं और so we'll do it later. Okay, blunder 16 is attempting too many questions and killing the accuracy. This I told you, okay, what happens is we think okay, we have to do like all the questions or most of the questions. So your accuracy matlab, is not that great, and if you are doing like 100%, then obviously if your accuracy is not great, then you'll end up losing more marks in the negative marking. So that's why decent 85 to 95 mala margin, which we discussed, the number of questions 85 to 95, if you are able to do, then that is like decent enough to matlab, get into the list and clearing prelims. Because two less and two more, I told you earlier also, that two less questions is also better and too many questions is also better. So this you'll get to know with your analysis of PYQ, analysis of your test, and analysis of your mocks. In mocks mein, you have to analyze ke, what is your accuracy. So say if you go through, matlab if you write a mock test, then see ke, once you are going through round one, first iteration mein, how many questions you are, matlab you are doing right in the first round, then uska accuracy nikalo, then second round ka accuracy nikalo, and when you have accuracies of these round, then a general average accuracy se you'll get to know okay, first round mein if you are getting like 100, then 50% accuracy है second round में, तो उसके हिसाब से you have to मतलब attempt the number of questions. अगर accuracy पता रही तो you can get to that ideal number of attempts. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So attempting too many questions is also not a very great strategy. So do not do that blunder. Okay, blunder 17 is fixation of on cutoff. So cutoffs are like very fluctuating. So do not abhi se do not think in mind ke मतलब this can be a cutoff. Last time suppose 85 था, 88 था, बीच में 92 था, फिर 98 भी था. तो if you assume कि ठीक है बाबा मतलब 4 साल से तो cutoff 100 के नीचे ही है. So that's why if you are getting test में 90, 95, 100 and you are getting very much complacent with it कि चलो चलेगा ये, it's a good score and all. So that's not true. मतलब do not fix it on the cutoff because cutoffs definitely depends upon your difficulty level of the paper and how your relative performance is. कि लोग कैसे prepare कर मतलब लोग कैसे perform कर रहे हैं on that D-Day. So that's why मतलब these are like secondary things to focus upon. मतलब एक बार write the prelims and then when keys are out, then you can think of these things. Fixated with that. कि मतलब अब इतना ही स्कोर किया तो भी चलेगा, ऐसे नहीं है. तो कट ऑफ गेसिंग राइट नाउ तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन अवॉइड. आफ्टर प्रीलिम्स में भी you can think of it. Okay, then blender 18 is like moving in vicious circles and never making any improvements. So what happens is कि you are reading different sources. Last तक नए ही sources पढ़ रहे हो, revision ही नहीं कर रहे हो. So revision is something which is very integral part of this process. And if you don't do revision, then ultimately you cannot like succeed with good score and good rank. तो मतलब these things are like very basic. बार बार वो नो मतलब गलतियां मत करो. जैसे when you read a particular source, जैसे लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ लिया, तो लक्ष्मीकांत का एक बुक you cannot read again and again and again. लक्ष्मीकांत के notes really fast. मतलब for me तो I made notes of लक्ष्मीकांत during my first attempt and within eight notes. तो डू नॉट डू दैट मिस्टेक कि इस अटेम्प्ट में भी नोट्स नहीं बनाए, अगले में भी नहीं बनाए, उसके अगले में भी नहीं बनाए. मतलब आई हैव सीन सम ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स, आई हैव सीन सम पीपल अराउंड हु कम टू मी के 3-4 अटेम्प्ट हो गए बट दे आर नॉट हैविंग इवन बेसिक नोट्स. एंड अटेम्प्ट्स का साइकिल चलता रहता है बट दे आर नॉट हैविंग बेसिक थिंग्स आल्सो. तो डू नॉट गेट इनटू दिस ट्रैप. तो नोट्स बना लो अच्छे से, देन आस्क योर मेंटर्स, जो भी तुम्हारे मेंटर्स है, जो भी तुम्हें गाइड करते हैं, आस्क योर सीनियर्स के हाउ यू हैव टू गो विद seniors in the sense who have cleared this exam and all. Not everybody is a reliable senior because ORN में हो या जहाँ पे भी प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, like everybody is there in India for a free advice, but उस advice का भी कुछ credibility रहना चाहिए. So that's why you'll have to find some good people who can guide you and who can mentor you. ठीक है. So blunder 19, coming to blunder 19, which is like ignoring mental and physical health. So this I'll personally tell you कि do not ignore your mental health. Physical health तो ठीक है, थोड़ा sedentary lifestyle हो जाता है, we sit at the libraries and मतलब बाकी कुछ करने का ज़्यादा ऑप्शन भी नहीं रहता है. But still, if you can like go for half an hour का walk or exercise for half hour, that is sufficient. And coming to mental health, I would personally recommend के do meditation. मतलब this is a thing which has helped me a lot. मतलब from my first attempt to my third attempt wherein I got selected, I used to do meditation. I was a regular practitioner of Vipassana. I used to do that for like 20-25 minutes based upon the time of exam also. मतलब जब exam pass होती है तो I used to meditate for like 30-40 minutes also. And on the D-Day also I used to meditate state is very important. मतलब अगर वो सही नहीं है ना, so as I told earlier कि 4 महीने का preparation is also not enough if you are not very stable in those 2 hours. If you get panicked there, if you have मतलब if that pressure is affecting your performance, then मतलब your studies doesn't matter anymore. So that's why you have to मतलब you have to have that right mental state wherein you are in the exam and also while you're preparing. अगर यहाँ पे भी ऐसा हो रहा है कि when you don't have a balanced mind, when you don't have a calm mind, so marks maybe if you get like very less marks, so you get very affected by it, and then you मतलब you do not feel like writing more tests and all. तो ऐसे नहीं रहता है. We have very balanced mind and focus on meditation, clarity with the things. You'll understand concept better. So mental state and physical states are very much important. मतलब mental state के लिए you can also talk with your friends regularly. तो ऐसे 2-2 घंटे बात नहीं करना है, लेकिन एक 5-10 minutes are anyways fine, no? मतलब दिन में 5-10 मिनट बात कर लो. Friends हो गए, family हो गए, whoever you are very much comfortable with. Spend time with them and also like मतलब be very much in the right mental state. ठीक है, so blunder 20 is like preparing in isolation. So I've seen many people who prepare in isolation, like they do not talk with anyone and they are just doing their own thing and they are not aware of other things or other strategies or how people are going up with the preparation. So do not be that person. मतलब have a close circle, not like too many people. मतलब too many people in a friend circle would also affect your studies. But a decent friend circle of 3-4 people is like really good. मतलब in my personal experience, मतलब I used to study with 3 friends of mine. मतलब ours was a 3 friends का group, and we got selected and we got into interview with at the same time. So if you have like these kind of groups wherein people are dedicated and they are very much into preparation and they do not like waste your time and they enrich your content, they support you. That support is also very important, not just for studies, but that moral support, that something which will help you drive through. So that is very important. So do not like study in isolation. If you prepare in group, then you can like prepare your current affairs also, and you can ask your doubts. The economy, if you are not able to understand, then someone will be good in economics. So ask them, get your concept cleared by them. Have some fruitful discussions. Current affairs cover कर लो. मतलब जैसे एक महीने का suppose 3 लोग हैं, तो divide your months accordingly, divide the magazines accordingly, and then you can proceed with. तो ऐसे कंस्ट्रक्टिवली यू कैन यूज योर स्टडी ग्रुप्स. मतलब आइसोलेटेड प्रिपरेशन से बेटर रहता है, मतलब कि थोड़ा सा कॉन्क्रीट अगर स्टडी ग्रुप रहे तो बेटर है. मतलब दिन भर तो यू कैन डू योर सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन के लाइक 5-6 hours 7 hours का सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन, बस 2-3 hours का मतलब एक फ्रूटफुल डिस्कशन इफ यू आर हैविंग ऑन करंट अफेयर्स और सम स्टैटिक का पोर्शन, then that will help you. Because another thing ये prelims में what helped me, मतलब how not being in isolation helped me was we used to discuss this analysis का part के test का analysis is there. तो 3 of us used to sit and then we used to discuss कि ठीक है this particular question is there, I got it wrong but other 2 people got it right. So what was they thinking and how they came to the right answer. If you get that intelligent guess also, they will get some right answers, you will also get some right answers. So if you discuss this way of attempting questions, then that will add to your knowledge and that will add to your strategy of clearing, and you'll get to know how you are supposed to solve the questions. So that's why this group is really very important, but that should be limited to like max 3-4 people, not more than that. A good study circle will definitely help you. Okay, so that was everything from my side regarding prelims ka preparation and the 4 months ka broad strategy which you have to prepare and the blunders which you have to avoid. Other things, I'll be there with CD and I'll be conducting other sessions also. Okay, we'll take one on intelligent guess also. We'll maybe take one on how to go with CSAT. So essay sessions will keep on doing. At the same time, I am mentor with Civilsdaily, so you can also get in touch with me through that platform. Okay, so thank you guys. All the best. I hope you got to know a lot of things in the interview and in this particular session, and it was helpful to you. Thank you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Civilsdaily.